Good evening. I hope I have a connection now. It looks like I'm recording. Thanks for your patience for the last few minutes. So I'm Joss Tufnell, and I'm going to be talking about, giving you a brief introduction to Qigong tonight. I've been practicing and teaching for many years now, and I'd just love to show you some of the treasures that Qigong can offer us. So tonight, we're going to look a little bit about what Qigong is, and we're going to look at some simple, powerful exercises that we can use from Qigong. And then there's a few sort of life secrets and that sort of thing that I'm going to throw in there as well to make it interesting. So just to start with, we're going to create what we call a chi field just to bring us all here and help me settle down as well after getting this event nearly not working. Let's take a minute to come back to myself and for you to come into yourself. And so just find a comfortable place to sit. And you don't have to, but if you choose, it would be good to sort of bring your back away from the back of the chair, to let your feet make contact with the ground. To maybe place your hands on your lap or on your thighs. And to lift up the head so it's straight. You can imagine that it's being lifted up by a cord, keeping the spine straight. Take a few deep breaths. Right down into the lower abdomen. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And now I invite you to just gently... I've got a message here saying it's not working. Couldn't access it. Okay, if there's anybody else that can hear me, can you send me a message to let me know? Okay, looks like maybe... Can you hear me, Lisa? Are you here now? I'm finally here, I hope, after some technical difficulty. Brilliant. All right. Okay, so I've got Lisa. That's brilliant. Is there anybody else here? Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to continue then. So just taking a breath to come back to yourself, into your abdomen. Now I invite you to draw back your vision slowly. Close the eyes gently. Body straight and upright. And just very briefly, we're going to relax through the whole body. So breathing in, feeling the crown, relaxing the whole of the head, working down to the neck, relaxing the shoulders, Relaxing the arms, down into the hands and the fingers. Relax the chest and the upper back, the abdomen and the lower back, the tailbone and the hips, and down the legs into the feet and toes. Feeling the body from tip to toe and from inside out. Just become very present with your body here and now. Try to sense a feeling of the emptiness and spaciousness inside your body. And expand that awareness out around you, above you and below you, in front of you and behind you, to the left and to the right. Expand out so there's no distinction between the internal and the external. You're filling the entire room that you're in and expanding out further to fill the entire universe. Feel that tranquil, peaceful space. And now where attention goes, energy flows. Bring your awareness back to the center of the universe, back to yourself and to your heart. Drawing back with it pure, bright Qi. And again, open up from the heart to each person here tonight, to me, to my heart, to anyone that's participating live now, or anyone that is going to be joining us and isn't because the technical problems we had just now. Connect with your heart. To each participant, see shining bright light in the hearts of everyone. And let that be a bridge between us. Have pure respect in your heart. And draw the awareness back now to your body, feeling calm and peaceful, feeling light and relaxed and free. And in your own time, open your eyes. And if there's anybody else who was trying to join me and they couldn't, could you send me a message so I know you're here? So I'm going to start by looking at what Qigong is. And so really Qigong is about cultivating life. It's made up of two words, Qi and Gong. And Qi is given many different names in different cultures. It's Ki in Japan and Prana in India. And basically means life force. That's in a narrow sense of the word. And universal energy in a more wider sense of the word. Qi makes up everything in the universe. So we have our own life energy and plants and actually quantum physics has found that everything is just vibrating energy. So even this pen, the chair that I'm sitting on, everything is vibrating energy. There's nothing really solid. And Gong has several meanings. It means work, cultivation, and ability. And so when you have the words Qi and Gong together, it's about the ability to cultivate this life force, to work on your own Qi, to bring about change, positive change, life cultivating change. In the Chinese system of holism, we have the body, Qi, and the consciousness. And Qi is what links the consciousness and the body. The body can turn into Qi, and the consciousness can direct Qi. And so there's a flow between body and mind through Qi. And this really is what modern science is now finding as well. So it's exciting times because science is really getting closer and closer to the knowledge that the ancients have known. And there's a few exciting books that are being written. One of them I have up here. This one's called The Field by Lynn McTaggart. And here she's really talking about the 0-point field that connects everything in the universe. And she's, talking to a lot of different scientists and doing research, drawing together what we're talking about here. She's written another book here called The Power of 8, which is about Qi field. So what's a Qi field? Well, we created a Qi field when we started the session tonight, when we took that moment to come back into ourselves and reach out to the universe, and then draw Qi back to ourselves and inside ourselves. And the human mind has the ability to program and activate Qi. So what we think, and especially with an emotion, our thoughts create our reality. Where attention goes, energy flows. There's a really lovely quote by Lao Tzu that I love, and I keep coming back to. It's been passed around the Qigong community quite a lot. And it's this. What's your thoughts? They become your words. What's your words? They become your actions. What's your actions? They become your habits. What's your habits? That becomes your destiny. No, that becomes your character. And what's your character? That becomes your destiny. So it's really about, the way we create our reality. And if you notice in that quote, each line starts with watch. Watch your thoughts. Watch your actions. Watch your habits. Watch your character. And that really is the key. And that really is the key in Qigong as well. It's cultivating awareness. Because without awareness, we're really just a servant to our patterns and habits. We're a servant to the false self. And so really being here now in the moment is what Qigong is all about. And yeah, our thoughts and our emotions create our reality. And in Qigong and Chinese medicine, our destiny comes from that. And actually, that's also true in anthroposophy and shamanism. They've, have the same truths in them, and probably a few other things as well. Because, what's my train of thought? Each thought we have is really well, let's think of it as any belief that we hold can be thought of as a repetitive thought. In a way, that's really what a belief is. And so if you think about, well, what am I thinking about all day? That's going to be creating your reality. And our emotions are really energy driven by a thought. Sort of energy in motion, emotion. You might have heard that expression used before. And Qigong and Chinese medicine recognizes that our emotions are very, very closely linked with our organs. You might say, oh, my stomach's tied up in knots. And the emotion of worry or anxiety can affect spleen qi, stomach. Or you could say, I'm livid with anger, and liver qi is affected by anger. You can do a lot of damage with that. And the same with other emotions. Sadness affects the lungs, fear affects the kidneys, and so on. So this is one way that humans are constantly creating their reality. And our health is in our own hands, to a large degree. We might have certain things that we live with and are born with, but we have a choice in how it develops to some degree by how we act and what we place our attention on. So what I'd like to do now is, actually I didn't finish Chi Field, did I? Just before I go on to the first exercise. Chi Field. So we have a Chi field, an aura around us. Plants do. In fact, everything in the universe has a Chi field. And this is now being discovered by science as well. People like Rupert Sheldrake have, this is about, I think, don't know exactly, but 30 years or more ago, talked about morphogenic fields. That's a crucial part of developmental biology. And he talked about how this energy field determines how something develops, which is exactly what I'm talking about, or have been talking about the last few minutes. So this chi field extends out beyond what you can physically see. And so when we're building a chi field like we did tonight, it's tangible. You know, I've been thinking about the last hour or so what I'm going to say tonight, and I've been putting energy and thought into creating that. And each of you participating have been thinking about coming tonight, or if you're not here now, you will have been thinking about it, and you're coming in the future. And even if you see this in the future, you're still part of the chi field of us here tonight. Right, so moving on to exercise number 1, and this is brilliant exercise. It's really simple and it's really easy. It's called Dantian breathing. Anyone can do this. And what it does is it energizes you and it calms you. So if you've been feeling a little bit emotional with what's been going on in the world recently, or at any time really, but if you've been feeling a bit helpless or angry or sad, or just stressed about it, this is an excellent exercise that can bring you straight back into your center. So Dantian breathing. Where is the Dantian? Well, the Dantian usually refers to the lower Dantian when used on its own, and that, I'm very careful, if you bring the pad underneath your thumb here, that pad of flesh, if you place that over your navel, over your belly button, then the center of your palm will be on your over your lower Dantian. And in Qigong, when we place our hands like that, it's conventional for males to put their left hand in first and females to put their right hand in first. And you can overlap the palms, one on top of the other. It doesn't matter too much if you don't do this, but it's just what's generally done in Qigong. So it's good that we follow that kind of etiquette. So if you bring in your hands now and place them over the lower Dantian, and the lower Dantian is the center for physical chi in the body. It's roughly halfway between the front and the back. So in the center of the body there. And in Qigong and Chinese medicine, this really is where we come to center. And in order to truly come inside there, we use the breath to help us. Now, you don't have to have your hands overlapping like they are on your navel right now. So that's up to you. This is often done with the hands just resting on the lap. But it can be helpful, especially when you're just beginning, to have your hands here, just because when you have your hands here, you're touching your belly, and it just helps bring that awareness down there. You know, where attention goes, energy flows, and our hands have a very close connection with the consciousness. And actually, to get even more technical, you don't need to know this at the moment, but in the center of the hand, there's a gateway that, like a chakra called Lao Gong, but that's something you don't necessarily need to know now. energy runs in meridians through the body, and there are certain gateways where more qi enters the body than other places. Lagong's one of those. So coming back to Dantian breathing, I'm going to invite you just briefly to draw your vision back and close your eyes. And I want you to breathe down into your lower Dantian. And you can feel the abdomen expand and contract with the breath. Try to feel right down inside your lower Dantian as you breathe. And let your abdomen expand, not just your abdomen, but your lower back as well. So it's like your lower Dantian is expanding in every direction as you breathe. It's like a qi balloon. But you may find if you put your attention on your back and try to feel that expanding, that deepens the practice a bit, and you might feel that your stomach will expand anyway then, because we're used to feeling that expand. But do breathe down into that belly. No shallow breathing. And allow the breath to reach a natural rhythm, becoming longer and slower. Really try to feel down inside the lower Dantian. And when you do this, where attention goes, energy flows, as I keep saying. So your emotions that were scattered before and your thoughts that were off in every direction are now focused on one point. They're anchored with the breath. And so your energy is brought back towards you. So breathe in and feel the abdomen expand and contract. And try to hold your awareness there. So now we're actually empowering ourselves. And you can already probably start to feel much better. And if we keep doing this with willpower for a little bit longer, drawing our awareness back whenever it starts to wander, if we do this, we can start to also, it's like turning the many thoughts into one, which is a training for the mind, and it helps us become calmer. So this is something that we can do in daily life whenever we want to. And all it takes is 2 minutes to bring the breath back inside lower Dantian and breathe. And you can open your eyes if you want to. If you like, you can try while you're watching me tonight, just to continue with this practice. See if you can listen to me and keep breathing in this way the whole time. So you're maintaining this internal awareness. So this is something that we can do in a time of crisis, or any time our thoughts or emotions are running away with us. And it brings us a lot of power. And the more we do it, the more we train our mind to calm down. So it's a very powerful, useful exercise. Are there any questions about that so far? If at any time you have a question, please just type it into the chat and I'll do my best to answer it. So, the most important thing in Qigong is having a good state. And now we're starting to, well, you might have already been in a good state, but doing an exercise like what we've just done will deepen that good state. When we started tonight, we relaxed and we built a chi field. We then calmed the mind. I have a question. Do we do this sitting down? So there's actually many ways to do this. Yes, you can do it sitting down, but you don't have to be sitting down. You could be standing up. In fact, you could be doing it, a lot of the time. So no, you don't have to be. And there's some Qigong exercises where you're actually moving your hands and using the breath to help while you're doing this as well. I just showed you a very basic form of Dantian breathing. And it's actually an exercise that can be built upon and is in Qigong. It's the foundation for high-level practice. In fact, in itself, it is a fairly high-level practice when you do it properly. So coming back to the state, Qigong state is one in which you're relaxed, you're calm, and when you're relaxed and calm, you can be more natural. And being natural is really where we want to be. Unfortunately, in the world, we've kind of lost what natural really is. And so many of us are caught on our own habits and patterns that are out of line with nature, that we don't know what the patterns of being in line with nature and just being truly is. But being relaxed and calm will build the pathway to help find what natural is. So they're very important things. And being joyful. When you're natural, you're naturally joyful. Your heart is open. Being unified. And when I say unified, I mean being aware of your body. You can also be aware of Qi. There's a number of ways we can feel Qi. I won't do it now, actually, but I'll do it a little bit later with another exercise. So feeling our Qi is another way we can bring our awareness right back into ourselves and feel our life energy. And unifying with the breath is another way that we've talked about. And to be aware, really aware and present in the moment. That really is the key. Yeah. the heart in a natural, open, trusting, open, loving, grateful, respectful, humble way. There's many levels to this Qigong state, and the type of Qigong that I work with really has some very, very useful methods that help us anchor this state at a deeper and deeper level the more we practice it. Practice is key to bringing this in. But Qigong really is about everyday life. And so with that in mind, I want to do just one, or not just one, but the next exercise is going to involve picking up something. So I want you now to just pick up an object and put it down again. So now, in a moment, I want you to pick up that object a second time, but this second time, we're going to do it in a Qigong way. And everything in life can be done in a Qigong way. So now I want you to be really conscious of how your body feels and how you're going to pick this object up. I don't want your attention to go out straight to the object. I want your attention to be in your hand when you pick the object up. So I'm going to pick up some tea here, and I'm keeping my hand, I'm keeping my awareness inside my hand, and I'm being aware of my eyes as well. You lose a lot of qi through the eyes when you look at something, and if you can keep your awareness in your eyes and in your hand, in your body, you'll end up having a lot more, keeping a lot more of your qi, and therefore not depleting yourself so much. So hopefully you're trying that now and seeing how different that can really be when you pick up an object in that way. And so this can be applied to everyday life. There's a big difference between sports and how we act in Qigong. For example, in tennis, you're hitting a tennis ball, and usually you're not really thinking about, your mind isn't necessarily in your body. Might be if you're a really, really good player, because actually in order to be really good, you do need to unify a bit more. But it goes often, with the ball, it's going out there and you're just thinking, where's that ball going? Where's that qi going, So there's a big difference between the way we do sports and the way we do Qigong. And cultivating this way of being is something that we can bring into everyday life. So yes, losing qi. So I was just talking now, qi goes out with our senses. So to our eyes, when we look at something, you might feel when you've had a really long car drive or a train journey, you've been watching, your mind's been going out and watching what's passing by all day, and you can feel exhausted at the end of the day. Or if you've been watching telly, your attention's been on the screen and what's happening and your emotions, and so you've just been depleting your qi because you haven't been aware of yourself. So our eyes are a big way that we can lose qi. It's the same with all of our senses. With hearing, we can keep our awareness inside when we go out. With touch, with smell, taste, And another way that we lose qi is through the emotions that I talked about before. And that's a big way we lose qi as well. A lot of adults, lose a lot of qi that way. I'll just click that off there. Sexual activity can be another way. Being over excessively involved in that, you can deplete a lot of your qi. And what's the other way? Basically acting out of alignment with the Tao. And when I say the Tao, I mean with life, with the way things naturally evolve and the natural laws of how things are. And so humans at the moment are, we have been acting collectively not always very well in line with the Tao, and we've created some problems for ourselves. And so you can see by coming back to this Qigong state and showing others how to reach this state, we can become closer to helping to solve those problems and becoming more in line with how we should be working towards life, working with life, not against it. So what are we, 42 minutes? So maybe it's time for another exercise. And the exercise that I'd like to show you now is called pulling qi. And it's an exercise that can be used to feel your qi, and also for healing and for calming, and a number of things really. So I talked about Qigong in the center of the palms before. Now you can stretch your hands out, and that opens that point in the center of the palms. Maybe just hold your hands up in front of you and close the eyes gently. Take a deep breath, oxygenate the body a bit. Breathe into the hands. And I want you to really be very, very present with your hands. Try to feel the hands. Try to feel what the air feels like on the skin, the temperature of the room. Feel the space between the fingers. Feel the center of the palms. And keeping your eyes closed, Eckhart Tolle uses this, and he says, what does he say? He says, try to work out how you know your hand is still there. How do you know? Ask yourself, how do you know that your hand is still there, or your hands are still there? So deeply feel and be present. And probably it doesn't take long. It might take longer for some people, but it won't take long if you're really being present with this exercise to feel the hands, and not just to feel the hands, you're actually feeling the qi inside them. Eckhart calls it the inner body. You might feel a tingling or a buzzing, a heat or a coldness, any number of different sensations. But it really is very tangible. So this is your chi, and it's not something mystical. It's just, like I said, everything is chi, and everything actually, in a way that you feel, is chi. But this, I think, really helps bring it home, this exercise. So now, to do the pulling chi exercise, imagine that you're gathering a chi ball up, you're carrying a bright ball of chi energy, and bring it to in front of your abdomen. Really make it tangible, like you can really feel it there. It's very bright. And I'm just going to bring my hands in front of the camera more, so I lift them up a bit higher so you can see if you want to, but you don't need to see. Just keep your awareness inside your body. But now just bring the hands very, very close together and pay attention to what it feels like between the hands. Very, very slowly getting closer and closer. Don't touch, but get very close, and you might need to open your eyes a little bit to see that you're not going to touch. But pay close attention to the space between the hands. And you might feel something there really quite strongly. For me, it's really strong when I get here, and I often get beginners to do this, because when they get to this bit here, it can be quite good. And then very slowly open the hands. Imagine that you're pulling out from the elbows, hands, the fingers are relaxed, space between the fingers, space in the palms, and then close the hands. You can keep the hands in front of the belly. It's probably better to do that at the moment. And close to almost touching, and then open. Allow the shoulders and the elbows to open. And then close, paying close attention to the space between the hands. And open. And when you open, imagine that the space between the hands is opening up to the universe, so that the whole universe is in your hands. And then close. And then think right down to just that small space between the hands. And just do that in your own time, opening, closing, open, close, open, close. And just continue doing that in your own time. Very, very relaxed. More relaxed, the hands, the shoulders, the elbows, the entire body. More powerfully, you'll sense the chi. And you may well start to feel that qi between the hands growing stronger. If you don't worry. Not everybody feels it straight away. It does not mean that it's not happening. It's just a very subtle shift in awareness that allows you to feel that. And actually, this exercise is not just about feeling qi. It can be used for healing, as I said before. And to do that, we can just choose maybe somewhere in your own body that needs healing. And while you're opening and closing the hands, imagine that your hands, that the space between your hands contains the place that needs healing. If you don't have anywhere that you feel you want to send healing to, then maybe something you want to strengthen. So you now place this thing, whatever it is, in your imagination between your hands. And when you open, expand out to the universe, so expanding the qi to fill the void of the universe, and then drawing back the pure, bright, healthy qi from the universe, straight back, thinking that part of the body that you're working on, seeing it bright and healthy. And sincerely doing this. The heart is involved in this as well. Trusting that this is actually a powerful exercise, which it is. And feeling love and gratitude for that part of the body. Every part of your body, has a spirit. And when we are connecting with the body in this way, connecting with the spirit of this part, acknowledging it, and it's like a relationship with anyone. If you acknowledge, you give them love and gratitude, it's going to strengthen that bond between you. So see that part of the body as bright and healthy. Sending it lots of love and gratitude for what it does for you. And that tangible feeling of qi between the hands, that qi really is going there to that place, making it bright and healthy, and the qi is flowing there in a healthy way. Bring your hands back to your lower dantian, placing them one over the other in the way we talked about before. And bring your awareness back into the lower dantian. Open your eyes slowly. Oh, hi, Karen. So hopefully that was a nice exercise. And we're getting towards the end of our hour. And I don't want to go too much over. So at any time, please fire some questions to me, and I'll do my best to answer them. Qigong, it's a little bit like yoga, but in the Chinese tradition. It's part of Chinese medicine, as is acupuncture. It's not just about moving. You might see a lot of, you might think it's like Tai Chi, which it is, but it involves still forms and moving forms. I practice a system called Qigong or Qigong, and that starts with gathering qi. First method is all about gathering qi from the universe. Second method is all about strengthening the dantians. So we talked about the lower dantian today, but there's other energy centers in the body as well. And so it's about strengthening them, strengthening the qi of the organs and the qi of the consciousness and so on. It's also like a yoga. There's a whole method that involves opening the channels that the energy flows down in the body, so that the qi can flow more smoothly and much better. And that very much is about gentle stretching. It's done very slowly and consciously, working with the qi. And then there's working on the qi of the organs in the method after that. So that's to do with the emotions, how the emotions affect the organs and purifying that. And then going up again, the next two methods are about getting the microcosmic orbit going, opening other energy channels, the central channel. And when you're working at this stage with qi, it really does take your health and your life to a whole new level. You won't be getting sick as much. You will find other abilities that might be considered not normal. Extra sensory perceptions might naturally start to develop. So it's a powerful tool for these things, but we don't do Qigong just to develop those things. We do that because by opening ourselves up to these things, we're more able to be healthy and better able to help other people, which is really what Qigong is all about, and helping the earth. By changing what's in here, we change what's out there. And then there's a whole methods working on the heart, working on qualities of trust, openness, love, gratitude, and Gongjing, which is true respect and humbleness. And then the next method is all about working on patterns of the consciousness and replacing them with healthy, life-giving patterns. And then finally, it's about bringing all of that together and really just putting that into everyday life. So as you can see, there's a potential there for lifelong study. But these methods, I can say, for as far as I've got, that they're really effective and really powerful. Yeah. So I might just about have time to do one more thing. This is a really good book, by the way. It's called Well-Being Begins With You, and it's by Wanza, who has taught me for the past 13 years. Really good introduction to Qigong and life cultivation. It's all about you. Changing you changes everything else. But what I want to share with you very quickly now, and it's kind of on a slightly different tangent to what we've been talking about in some ways, but I want to talk about Gongjing, this true respect and humbleness that I mentioned just now. It's a heart quality that really is something that needs to be cultivated in the world at the moment. And my teacher in this book, he recommends this lovely exercise, and maybe it's something you can take away and practice after this session ends. So I'll just read to you what it involves. So it says, if you are not sure how to begin cultivating this quality, Gongjing, try with a plant or tree. When you see the plant, take time to get into a healthy state with respect and humility. Make yourself one with the plant and convey your appreciation, telling it how beautiful and wonderful it is and how much you love it. See the plant as equal rather than something of lesser value. Then see what happens. The plant will look healthier and brighter because of the positive chi and information it receives from you. In return, it will put out nourishing chi and information. When you have Gongjing, you will receive this chi and information and feel nourished. The channel between you and the plant will be open and the connection made. An exchange will take place, and you will get a sense of unification, of being part of a whole. Throughout your whole body, you'll have a wonderful feeling that is beyond words. The world will suddenly seem a much better place, beautiful and harmonious. It is not that the world has changed, rather it is you. The plant will look so appealing that all you will want to do is cherish and protect it. The positive change to your chi and body through this practice will be much greater than what you can get from Qigong practice, and it can happen just like that. A small plant can change your life. As you become more familiar with this technique, you can try to use Gongjing the same way with other objects or forms of life. I believe this quality is fundamental to building a harmonious relationship between humans and nature. So, yeah, I thought that was a really lovely way to end this tonight, because it's so important right now that we do that. And I can't see any more questions at the moment. So just before I end, my teacher is going to be running a online retreat, I think for about 3 hours a day for 9 days, starting on the 5th of April. And I think it's going to be really worth attending. I can highly recommend it. So if you're interested, I will post it on my Facebook page, or you can message me. And price is not going to be an issue. So if you're worried about that, I think he's got, he just give what you can give, and I'm sure that he can make that work. So looks like there's no more questions, and I'm going to end this with a lovely little practice to build the global chi field that my teacher has passed on to all of the teachers that he's taught. So I invite you now to just draw the vision back, and to close your eyes, and to come deep inside your heart. Really feel your heart and the safety that gives you, coming into the moment, not being in the head. May everyone go into their heart to find refuge and feel safe. And if you want to, you can place your hands over your heart as we do this. Or if you want to, you can form this prayer position, which is actually a very powerful position used in Qigong for manifestation. So may everyone come into their heart to find refuge and feel safe. May everyone come into their heart to find trust, openness, love, gratitude, and Gongjing, that true respect and humbleness that we've just spoke of. May everyone come into their heart to find bright and beautiful light. May everyone come into their heart to meet their true self. Wishing everyone health, happiness, and growth. Wishing the world peace and harmony. And when we do this with utmost sincerity, it really does work. So blessings to you all. And remember to stay grounded with that Dantian breathing I showed you, to keep coming back to the heart. So blessings. Stay close to the earth. Thank you for joining me tonight, and stay in contact. So nice to see some of you here. Bye for now.